Today I'm going to show you how to easily clean an engine bay on a modern day car, and I'm going to keep this video as simple as possible, so you're going to have the confidence to clean your own engine bay without being scared of causing any damage. Now you may look at this engine bay and think it's confusing as you don't know where to begin, and that's where today's video will come in. It doesn't matter how experienced you are at detailing, as long as you follow along to this step-by-step guide, you'll master it on your first attempt. So we're outside and we're going to be tackling this Audi Q7. Now this is a very expensive car. So you might ask yourself, what am I going to do to protect the major components? Well, first of all, you've got the things that you really shouldn't get wet. You've got the filters and you've got the batteries. Apart from that, everything else has been designed to be able to cope with a considerable amount of water. As long as you don't flood it and you don't go OTT, you should be fine. With all the major components protected, it's time to get cracking. So first things first, we're going to give it a rinse, but I want to start off by doing the top, and that's because you're going to get loads of grease and things drop down. There's no point in making this all look pretty, and then you're going to tackle this and have it all drop down again. So that's why we say you've got to start with the top first. So while I'm rinsing under the bonnet, I'll take you through some of the products I'm going to be using today. So you're going to need a clean bucket, and for me, I just use my wheel bucket with some shampoo in it. You're also going to need some detailing brushes, and I'll talk you through the ones that I'm using as we go along through the video, as there's a fair few that you could benefit from. Now for the cleaning and protecting process, and I'm only going to be using just 3 chemicals today. So we got Yum and Dress, which will attach itself to the dirt, and then after that we're going to be using some snow foam. And then to protect it at the end, we're going to be using the brand new Yum Dress version 2, which you'll see towards the end of the video. This will be a massive game changer for engine bays if you want to make them look fresh. And believe me, seeing is believing. So when cleaning your engine bay, make sure the engine is cold or slightly warm at most. If it's too hot, then there could be a risk of chemicals drying out too quickly, and furthermore you could crack the major components from the heat. And you need to be careful if there's any belts that are exposed with the engine, so make sure nothing dangles down into the engine bay, especially where there are belts, because if you're leaning over and you've got tassels from hooded jumpers, well, you don't want to know the rest. Once you're happy with the initial rinse, you can now bring out your first cleaning product. So I'm using Yum and Dress today, which is a hardcore tire and rubber cleaner, but it's also suitable for engine bays. And because it is a thick gel-based formula, it's less likely to dry out as quick as a citrus degreaser, and that's why I opt for this instead. So what I'm doing here is spraying everything with the cleaner and allowing plenty of dwell time, but instead of attacking it with brushes at this stage, I'm going to layer it with snow foam instead, using the MTM PF22 Cannon. Now what this is going to do is help the Yum and Dress pull up even more contaminants from the surface of the engine bay. The short stubby gun I'm using here is the MTM SGS28, and if you want to know where you can get everything used in this video, then simply check out the links in the description below, and also you can get an extra 10% off everything when you visit yumcars.co.uk and enter the code EPIC at the checkout. So once you're finished foaming, you should be left with a beautiful, consistent, creamy layer of foam. And this is what you should be aiming for when snow foaming your car. Not too thick and definitely not too thin. Starting top down, we're just going to agitate some of the dirt off using a detailing brush. And we're going to keep the foam on because the combination of both of them working together, the brush and the foam, it will speed up the cleaning process. And as you can see, the true power of the foam clinging on with very little dripping down, so nothing gets wasted. And just to help you guys out, I've listed down some cheap alternative brushes for people on a tighter budget with some top picks from Amazon. For the main engine bay, I'm using a boar hair brush, and this is pretty soft, and for most people, this will be good enough for what you need. But the good thing about engine bays on your average cars is you can use stiffer brushes if the dirt is worse than it seems. But that's why I'm using Yum and Dress and Yum Foam, because you'll soon see why as we progress through the video. And also I'm using wheel woolies because they can get down into the nooks and crannies, and I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe I was just a little bit too excited about the soft brushes. But anyway, with the fiddly bits done, pardon the pun, it's now time to pressure wash off the snow foam. And you'll soon see just how easy the dirt comes off without breaking a sweat. And I also tried this method on my old Ford Transit Connect a few weeks ago, and I posted it on Instagram because the results were immaculate, and the engine bay details have huge earning potential too if you're doing this for a business and you want to make some extra money from detailing. With all the rinsing taken care of, I'm going to wipe around the bonnet jambs, and I'm leaving water on the engine bay And I know what you're thinking. Why am I not drying the engine? Surely I should do that. But as you'll see, for the first time ever on this channel, I'm going to be showing you the brand new Dress version 2, which is a protective moisturiser which penetrates deep onto any surface. But here's the beauty of it. Once you spray over the wet surfaces, it will emulsify, so it will disperse with the water, and I'm going to do something which I've never previously considered before until now. So here we go. So this has been watered down with 1 part water to 5 part chemicals, and I'm going to spray a fair amount all over the components, and what you'll find is the combo of the water and the chemical will find its way into the tight areas. Then the next day we can inspect it and see how well this has actually worked. So welcome back, it's the following morning. So we did spray this in the evening yesterday, so it's had a good 12 hours to nicely set and work its magic. But now I want to get the bonnet open and I want to show you guys the results and what we're going to be working with. It looks brand new. It honestly looks like a brand new engine bay.